Europe has quietly become a powerhouse for innovation. While Silicon Valley dominates headlines, European startups are disrupting industries worth trillions of dollars. From fintech revolutionaries to mobility giants, these companies aren't just successful, they're reshaping how we live, work, and move. Today, we're counting down the 10 most successful startups Europe has ever produced. These aren't just unicorns. These are companies that have fundamentally changed their industries. Let's dive in. Starting at number 10, Klarna. Founded in Stockholm in 2005, Klarna turned a simple idea into a $46 billion valuation. The concept? Let people buy now and pay later, without the complexity of traditional credit cards. What makes Klarna special isn't just the payment model. It's how they made online shopping frictionless. One-click checkout. No forms. No hassle. Over 150 million people use Klarna today, and it's integrated with more than 500,000 retailers worldwide. The company processes over 2 million transactions every single day. That's larger than many traditional banks. Founders Sebastian Siemiatkowski, Nicholas Adelberth, and Victor Jacobson saw that credit cards were designed for a different era. They built something for the smartphone generation. At number 9, Delivery Hero. Berlin-based Delivery Hero operates in over 70 countries across 4 continents. Their valuation? Over $20 billion. But here's what most people don't know. They're actually bigger than DoorDash in terms of global reach. Founded in 2011 by Nicholas Osberg, the company started with a radical vision: own the entire food delivery infrastructure, not just the app, but the logistics, the rider network, everything. While competitors fought over Western markets, Delivery Hero quietly dominated emerging economies. They process over 2 billion orders annually. That's roughly 5.5 million orders every single day. From Seoul to Sao Paulo, millions of people depend on their platform. The company's strategy of going where others wouldn't has made them the world's leading local delivery platform outside China. Number 8 might surprise you. Celonis. This Munich-based company doesn't sell to consumers. They sell to enterprises. And their product? Process mining software. Sounds boring, right? Except they're valued at $13 billion and work with nearly half of the Fortune 500. Founded in 2011 by 3 students, Bastian Nominaker, Martin Klenk, and Alexander Rinka, Celonis created something revolutionary. Their software analyzes how companies actually work, finding inefficiencies that humans can't see. Imagine discovering that your supply chain has a bottleneck costing millions annually, and you never knew it existed. That's what Celonis does. Companies like Uber, Siemens, and ABB use their platform to save billions in operational costs. They've created an entirely new category: execution management systems. In enterprise software, that's the holy grail. Being first in a category you invented. At number 7, Revolut. London's Revolut isn't just a bank. It's a financial super app serving 40 million customers worldwide. Founded in 2015 by Nikolai Storonsky and Vlad Yatsenko, they saw traditional banking as outdated and expensive. Their pitch was simple: one app for everything financial. Bank accounts, currency exchange, stock trading, crypto, travel insurance, all without the fees legacy banks charge. The result? They're now valued at $33 billion. What's remarkable is the speed. In just 9 years, they become one of the UK's most valuable private tech companies. They're processing over 500 million transactions monthly and expanding into 38 countries. Revolut proved that you don't need physical branches to build a banking empire. You just need to give people what they actually want: fast, cheap, and transparent financial services. Number 6, Adyen. If you ever paid at Uber, Spotify, or Microsoft, you've used Adyen. This Dutch payment giant processes over $1 trillion in transactions annually. Their market cap? Over $50 billion. Founded in 2006 by Peter van der Does and Arnout Schwij, Adyen built something different from PayPal or Stripe. They created a single platform that handles every payment method in every country with one integration. Sounds simple, but it's incredibly complex. Different countries have different payment preferences. Swedes love Swish. Germans prefer Sofort. Chinese tourists use Alipay. Adyen handles all of it seamlessly. The company's client list reads like a who's who of tech: Meta, eBay, Spotify, Netflix. When you're trusted to process payments for companies of that scale, you've built something truly valuable. Adyen is the invisible infrastructure powering global commerce. At number 5, Northvolt, Europe's answer to Tesla's battery dominance. Founded in 2016 by former Tesla executives Peter Carlson and Paolo Cerruti, Northvolt is building Europe's first homegrown battery gigafactories. Their mission? End Europe's dependence on Asian battery manufacturers. With the automotive industry going electric, batteries are the new oil. Northvolt has secured over $55 billion in contracts from companies like Volkswagen, BMW, and Volvo. Valued at $12 billion, they're not just building batteries. They're building them sustainably. Their factories run on renewable energy, and they're pioneering battery recycling technology. By 2030, they aim to produce enough batteries for 1 million electric vehicles annually. In the race to electrify transportation, Northvolt is positioning Europe as a serious player. That's geopolitically massive. Number 4, BioNTech. In 2020, the world learned this name overnight. The German biotech company, founded by husband and wife team Or Sahin and Özlem Teresi in 2008, developed one of the first COVID-19 vaccines in partnership with Pfizer. But here's what most people miss. BioNTech wasn't founded for pandemic response. They were pioneering mRNA cancer treatments. The COVID vaccine was a pivot of their existing technology, a pivot that saved millions of lives. Their market cap peaked at over $100 billion. Today, they're worth around $30 billion and are back to their original mission, using mRNA to cure cancer. They have over 20 cancer immunotherapy programs in clinical trials. BioNTech proved that European biotech can compete with American giants. They didn't just create a product. They validated an entirely new medical technology that will define 21st century medicine. The top 3. And at number 3, Spotify. Stockholm Spotify didn't just compete with piracy. They killed it. Founded in 2006 by Daniel Ek and Martin Lawrenson, Spotify made a radical bet. If you make music accessible and affordable, people will pay. They were right. Today, 600 million people use Spotify. Over 240 million pay for premium subscriptions. The company is valued at over $70 billion and has completely transformed how the music industry works. Before Spotify, artists relied on album sales and iTunes downloads. Now, streaming is everything. The company pays out over $9 billion annually to rights holders. That's more than any other streaming service. But Spotify didn't stop at music. They've become the world's largest podcast platform. They've signed exclusive deals with Joe Rogan, Michelle Obama, and hundreds of other creators. They've turned audio content into a global on-demand industry. Before Zoom, before Teams, before FaceTime, there was Skype. Founded in 2003 by Nicholas Zenström and Janice Fries in Estonia and Sweden, Skype pioneered peer-to-peer video calling. At its peak, Skype had 660 million users worldwide. Microsoft acquired it in 2011 for $8.5 billion, one of the largest tech acquisitions ever at that time. The technology that Skype developed became the foundation for modern video conferencing. Think about it. Skype normalized the idea that you could see and talk to anyone, anywhere, for free. That was revolutionary in 2003, when international calls cost dollars per minute. Skype made distance irrelevant. While newer platforms have overtaken it, Skype's legacy is undeniable. It proved that European startups could build global communication infrastructure. Every video call you make today owes something to Skype's innovation. And finally, number 1, Spotify. Wait, you might be thinking, didn't we already cover Spotify at number 3? Here's the thing. When measuring pure success and ongoing impact, Spotify deserves both spots. But let me tell you about the real number 1. Actually, the real number 1 is, it depends how you measure success. If we're talking about acquisition value, it's Skype. If we're talking about market cap today, it's Spotify. If we're talking about impact on human health, it's BioNTech. If we're talking about infrastructure importance, it's Adyen. But if I had to choose one company that best represents European startup success, it would be Spotify. Why? Because Spotify did something incredibly difficult. They disrupted an entrenched industry, the music business, and won. They created a new market. They changed consumer behavior globally. And they did it while being profitable and sustainable. European startups often compete by being better, not just bigger, more thoughtful, more sustainable, more focused on long-term value. That's the European advantage. These 10 companies represent over $300 billion in combined value. They employ hundreds of thousands of people. They've changed industries from finance to music to healthcare. But here's the exciting part. Europe's startup ecosystem is just getting started. With increasing venture capital, better infrastructure, and a new generation of founders, the next decade will produce even more giants. Which of these startups surprised you the most? Let me know in the comments. And if you want more content on European innovation in tech, subscribe and hit that notification bell. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one.